Today I'm going to show how to load a Canon ELAN 7E. That said, this camera, though it is for like this particular camera, most of what I'm going to say is going to be the same for pretty much any of the 90s era Canon SLR cameras. So that could be an EOS 1, an EOS 3, any of the Rebels. There's going to be a lot of crossover between these cameras, so it should work for a lot of those. Before you even begin loading the camera, there's a couple settings that I would suggest going over. In order to access the settings on this particular camera, you just have to switch the knob around here to the C.FN custom function window. It's going to vary a little bit camera by camera, so look it up on the manual and you'll be able to go from there. Then over here on the window, you'll see the various numbers right here in this little LCD panel. For this particular camera, I care about number 1 and number 2. Number 1 sets it whether it rewinds fast or it rewinds slow. Rewind fast is like normal because you just want to reload, so you can load your next roll in there. The other option, the loading slow option, is that if you want it to go really slowly and therefore really quietly. So if you're using this camera to, let's say, take photos at a wedding or something like that, you might want that on that setting so that when you finish the roll, it's not going as it rewinds itself. It can just go really a little bit slower, but it also is really quiet. Personally, I'm not going to be usually in this at a wedding anytime soon, so I'm going to leave it on 0. The next one that I would suggest going to is number 2 here. This is important if you are a self-developer. If you send your photo film off to the lab, I would definitely suggest leaving it on the like default option, which is 0. The way you change those, you just, once you're on the thing, you just push the button on the back here, the C.FN button, and that turns it on, turns it off, turn it on, and off. And there's a bunch of other custom functions that are available for this camera as well, but these are the ones I care about for loading. This particular setting though is really important because if it's on 0, that means that the film, when it's done, will rewind itself all the way back into the canister. But if you have it set on 1, it'll rewind itself to be kind of like this, like just shy of all the way done, having a little bit of the film leader hanging out. That's super helpful if you are reloading your own film, because that means you don't have to then get it out of the canister before you start loading it onto a reel, and it's just ready to go. A lot of times though, when I do finish rewinding mine, I then like bring it down so it's just like this or something, just barely sticking it out. That way I know this film is done, or you might want to put tape on it or something, just because you don't want to accidentally have that roll of film and grab it thinking that it's not been shot and then start double exposing everything. Now that we're done, it is time to actually load this film. So I'm just going to put this over here into aperture priority. It does not matter. Next up, when you open up the back, and this part is extremely simple, all you do is just take this little button, flip it down, and it's going to open up just like so. So all I do, this little plastic canister just like so, I just have to flip my film canister in like so, and then I'm just going to pull this across, and I don't have to get it that far or that carefully, just across a little bit, and it's ready to go. I know because over here it has the number 1. One thing you might want to do is to set your ISO manually. For this particular camera, you just push the function button here on the back, and then it sets through these things, and I can change it. Then I'm on the ISO setting, and I can make adjustments. And now it'll be ready to go, and I could just take pictures. Now that I've taken a couple pictures, let's say I want to be done. All I have to do here, if I want to rewind early, is just push this rewind button right itself, and the camera is going to rewind itself. And it's done. And just as I said before, you can see here, that tail is sticking out just a little bit and making it nice and easy to develop myself. I hope that was helpful. Enjoy this good camera.